we have in today's Gospel this preparation in the desert, and it is what I would like to propose to you, strange though it may seem, precisely because it may seem strange. I remember a word once said in chapter by our superior. He felt that it was his duty to form the interior, to make sure that everyone before him was a contemplative, because he maintained the rest will happen anyway. Translate: what are we doing this week? Are we celebrating Christ? If one observes, there is a general acceptance that we as human beings in this part of the world celebrate the feast. But observe how much of Christ is in his feast. This precisely takes me back to the first Christmas in 1976. I spent away from home, precisely in enclosure. It was actually here. This is a painting done of the monastery before at last it closed down. Zeliniak, the charter house there, is now no longer as a charter house, it is a retreat house. But there it was, very much buzzing with life. And the shock of that first Carthusian Christmas was something else. No human contact on Christmas Day. Choir and cell. Choir and cell. No recreation. Towards the end of the day, the novice master did come in to see how I was getting on and intuited that there was an element of the blues already setting in. The first Christmas without the family, it's a bit of a wrench. But it was Christmas! And precisely that wrench put you with the angels who were singing around the crib. And in our case, around the altar. Wow, this is something else. And not only that, but you're in union and harmony with all the centuries of celebration. These powerful antiphons coming from the heart of the Middle Ages, still going up into the rafters of the High Church. Oh, Emmanuel, and you felt the power. This is the Catholic Church. This is our real family. And the angels are our hidden brethren. Just by chance today, I opened the sacred scriptures, and what did I find in this Welsh Bible but this sheet of paper? One of my father's last letters. And it occurred to me as I read again these caring words, what it is to belong, what it is to be born into a safe nest and to hand on a part of us to the King and Author. Now, just by chance again, this came to my hand right now. It was waiting for me in the sacristy. It is a letter which has come from St. Peter's, Drogheda, to Father Michael with delegation of baptism to me here at this ancient font which was hidden underground for generations during the persecution, and as you see is still intact because local tradition knew where it was buried, and lo and behold it was there, underground, deep down. So these close friends of mine will eventually baptize their firstborn at that font. The other end. The beginning and the end. We receive the torch and hold it as in the Olympic Games for one part of the race and hand it on to someone else, unless we choose not to do so, in which case the Lord knows how to hand on grace and merit from the sacrifice of virginity, spiritual paternity, we call it. What am I saying? I am saying this, my friends. Our innings, say what you like, is not that long. Indeed, 2 years ago, practically to the day, I opened a card, a Christmas card from close friends who have been faithful to me for years and years and years. And on it was the husband and the wife, as usual. And then I phoned the wife. And what did she say? He's no longer with us. Between the sending of the card and the phoning back, in fact, the very day that the card was sent, because he posted it, he had a heart attack and spent Christmas in the beyond. That is how fragile our wick is. It can be snuffed out just like that. And whether it's 1 second or 1 million years after that snuffing out, it's the beyond. The fixing at that point. Thus it was, thus it is written. Mektub, as the Muslims say, written. Our life is writ large forever at that point. Which brings me to what I wanted to say. Christmas is therefore sacramentally linked with birth and the family, because the Lord chose to sanctify the human family by being born in it. Now listen, Christmas is the test of the quality of the family life. If one does not get the blues away from home, there's something wrong. Right now, if one goes to Dublin Airport at this time of the year, it's very moving, because people all the time are coming out of the corridors of the inner part of the airport to meet their dear ones, and one sees very moving scenes of people who embrace their long-lost brothers and sisters, cousins, whatever it may be, from faraway lands. It's something rather like what happens, I think, at death. Because there are quite a few testimonies now of people who have died and been brought back on the operating table, and when they started to go, they were aware of people sometimes coming towards them, their dear ones, which is consoling that we do meet those who are saved. If they die in grace, we meet again, which is precisely an extension of the family. We do belong to each other, it seems even forever. The important thing is that we all get home on the safe side. Which brings me to this. This Christmas, the Lord wants us to examine the quality, and I mean the quality, of our being in families. Many, actually, young people are the epitome of selfishness. Even early on in life, a child can presume the right to have big presents, the right to have a present. It's already an anomaly, and will be grumpy if he doesn't get it. But there are also big children well over the age of 50, people who are not grateful. Gratitude. The quality of family life is made of appreciation and, yes, creating joy for those around us. And Christmas is the test of it. Look at the quality of your family life. And also the togetherness of it. It's not the same spending it in solitude in front of a machine and spending it together. These things are sacramental moments for a family. Share Christmas. Now, when I came across that letter in the Bible, it took me back to something I hadn't actually appreciated when it was there. We only really appreciate our parents and our family members when for some reason they're no longer there. And we can't anymore say sorry and thank you. So now, when they're there, is the time to do it. There are two things I want to leave you with. The first is this. You need, therefore, in your family and in your life, at Christmas, the equilibrium between the desert and the personal encounter with the one who's being feasted. Therefore, true prayer, not just community prayer, but moments of intimacy with him. But also that sharing of his joy with each other. And you can't please the Lord by having moments of intimacy with him and causing pain. It just can't be done. Because then what will happen normally is that the Lord will bring that to mind next time you're with him. So it's one entire movement. So I just would like to leave you these thoughts which came to me after I came across that letter many years after he was no longer there. Listen and translate to your own life, because each one at Christmas usually thinks of somebody who this year is no longer there. Appreciate every soul that comes into your life while he's there. So this was written then after coming across that letter in the Bible. Rest now, good friend, rest on. The time is gone. No more shall scribblings travel on a page from where this hand now lies. Yet, though 'tis done, the work that they performed, there is not age or growing older in the Father's land, where son meets son that was a son in turn to Adam that all bore. And this kind hand that penned a hurried word doth here return, not from the tomb, but from the womb of ours, the ancient calm where all things have an end. And though where lies that face, the gentle powers of loving come no more. This earth can lend a particle or two to hold a sound that I will hear again when home is found.